So after this whole situation, you and Nas are no longer together?
Right. We're still in contact, but we're not together.
Did you have a conversation with Jay about Super Ugly?
No.
No. Never.
No. That was it after that.
No more talking.
Well, here's the thing. After Takeover, I had a conversation with him, and then I just felt like, you're not hearing me. And then it was like my loyalty at all times laid with Nas. Like at the end of the day, it was him and I against the world, especially when he decided to put Ether out. Ether came out months after Takeover, like 5 or 6 months.
It took a while.
It took a minute.
Yeah.
It took a minute because there were things that were happening. Nas's mom wasn't doing too good. We weren't together. Nas was transitioning from one home to the next. He was working on his album. He decided to include the Ether song as a part of the album so he could go on the road with it. And I will say this, there was a lot of money being made over this beef. During it, before it, after it.
Right.
People are still commercializing. Yeah.
Because Rockefeller went on to do a bunch of other songs where other members jumped on. I think Cameron was on a song and Freeway was on a song.
Cameron, all of them.
And so forth. All of this was happening. You have something to say about Cameron?
You know what? I have no respect for Cameron. I think he's a total douchebag. Honestly, I don't even want to talk about him.
Wait a minute. He had, right, because Cameron had the verse about your daughter.
I was referring to what he said about Nas's mom, who had passed away. He made very disparaging comments about her. What he said about Destiny and I was like, oh, you clown. Monkey see, monkey do. I could care less.
He said, like, R. Kelly, your daughter's face or something like that?
I don't remember exactly what he said, but he has some really negative things to say. Cameron's a clown. He's a douchebag. He's disgusting. He's illiterate and he can't rhyme to save his life. And he's not even worth me talking about, to be honest with you.
Well, he actually didn't have anything to do with this beef. He just was on Rockefeller.
Let me tell you something. Cameron been a Nas dick rider from jump. Cameron always sweating Nas. Cameron used to try to get into my girl circles just to get close to Nas. That's how desperate and pathetic he was.
Right. He said, tell your daughter R. Kelly have my way with her face. And how old was your daughter at the time?
She had to be like 7 or 8 years old at that time.
That's way over the line.
Yeah, somebody should have stomped him out immediately after that. Well, I know for a fact that when he got on the radio and was spewing this bullshit, the studio I was in, the whole entire studio jumped in their cars and ran to the city, but he was gone by that time.
Right, Cameron called Nas's dead mother a whip-wop head?
Something like, so he said something about her wig or something to that effect, I believe. But I'll be honest with you, I was totally fulfilled when 50 destroyed Cameron. I was like, okay, I feel so much better. Like I was fine after that. Like, you know, I felt like he got his karma when 50 came on the scene.
Okay, so all this...
Then he was no longer a part of hip-hop.
All this happened. You know, it eventually started to die down. Mm-hmm. You fast forward a number of years, and Jay Z actually signs Nas to Def Jam.
I know, right? That was crazy. Nas, you won the battle, but you lost the war.
You felt that Nas lost the war?
Absolutely. 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 He won the battle, but at the very end, you gave in. You know, like, who doesn't stand for their own cause? Like, if you're not going to back your own cause, then...
And they ended up doing a song together. Black Republicans, produced by LES. Mm-hmm. Coincidentally.
Right.
Just kind of cool.
So long ago. I know, it was just such a long time ago.
Okay. And you felt that Nas lost the war.
Okay, well, what happened was when Jay Z lost the battle, and the whole entire New York City felt like Ether was a better track, and Jay Z was feeling a certain type of way. We all know Jay Z has a huge ego. You know what I mean? He's like a monster in music. He was feeling a certain type of way, so I guess he may have felt like, okay, well, you know what? If I can't beat him, I'll join him. At the very least, let me get this nigga on my team so that the whole world doesn't think that, hey, here we are beefing over this one little girl. Like, God forbid that, be the news story. And so what happened was, I think they both agreed, like, all right, let's just take a moment, gather our thoughts, let's unite, do this song, and we'll just use this whole front to camouflage, what's really going on, because we are artists, we're hip hop artists, and we're on stage every day, and we're in videos, and we have groupies, and God forbid anybody think that we are fighting over her and beefing over her with all that we have going on and blah, blah, blah. And so that's what happened. Nas was going through some financial issues. Right, Jay had a checkbook ready.
Right, he had tax problems.
He had some tax issues.
Right.
And honestly, those tax issues, they came from him just having poor management,
right,
poor accountants, poor.
Right. But to be fair, Nas is someone that's going to continue to be able to make money forever.
Oh, definitely.
So it's not like his problems were so bad that he couldn't get out of it.
Oh, no.
Nas could tour all over the planet in damn near every country and sell it out. So.
But you cannot get around the IRS. There's nothing you can do.
No, but I'm saying, he could make money in order to pay back the IRS. He didn't have to sign with Jay. That was not his only option.
Well, that's true. That's absolutely true. But again, like I said, they needed to camouflage what was going on with me. So it just made sense for them to get together, because then it would make it less likely for someone to believe that they were beefing over me. And that was the priority. These people, you have to understand, these artists build themselves up, to this image, and they have to stay there in order to maintain relevancy, to maintain their stardom. They can't be like regular people who fall in love and have feelings and emotions.